In the name of Allah, the most merciful and the most beneficent. Assalamu alaikum to everyone and very good morning to all of my dear students. I hope that everyone is in good health. Well, students, I am your teacher of subject English. So let's start today's lecture. Let me tell you first of all day and date. So dear students, today is 8th of January 2021 and day is Friday. So let's move ahead to see the topic of today's lecture. It's unit 12 Peter Rabbit. It means that today we are going to do unit 12 Peter Rabbit. You must be very familiar with this unit because we have been reading this unit from last 2-3 days, as we have done with the bookwork and the words meaning and the sentences related to the unit 12 as well. So today let's see the topic is that question answers. It means that today we are going to do the question answers related to the unit 12. Here you go, you can see the Peter Rabbit initial page, and you must be very familiar with this because I have already described each and everything, the theme and the everything, and you must have well known about this unit, as it comprises on 4 little bunnies and 1 mother rabbit, which you can see given on the image in front of you. They all have been living in the sandbank near the big fir tree, and they are named with the Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail and the Peter. Okay, these are the names of the little bunnies. And whenever mother rabbit leave her home to get something outside from the market, she always been warned or aware to the bunnies not to go to the Mr. McGregor gardens because it's dangerous over there. But Peter was very naughty. He never listened to his mother, and he went to the Mr. McGregor garden. Even he squeezed himself to cross the gate, and there he had lettuce, parsley, radishes, and many more things and finally when he went to the cucumber frame, there he saw the Mr. McGregor, and Mr. McGregor started to follow Peter with the rake holding his hand and start to say thief, thief. And then Peter became very frightened and started to run to escape himself. Finally he hid himself in the tool shed, and Mr. McGregor was quite sure that Peter would be somewhere in the garden, and I will catch Peter and will teach a lesson. And finally Peter became successful to reach his sandbank hole, and then he was served with the chamomile tea by his mother. Okay, that was all about the theme of the Peter Rabbit. Now we are moving to the long question answers. So we are going to do half of the question answer today. I'm going to read one by one for you. You have to listen me carefully so that you can do it on your booklet easily. Number 1 is, what were the names of Mrs. Rabbit's children? यानी कि Mrs. Rabbit के children का name क्या था? What were the names of Mrs. Rabbit's children? So the answer is Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail and Peter were the names of Mrs. Rabbit's children. ठीक है, these were 4 names of Rabbit's children. Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail and Peter were the names of Mrs. Rabbit's children. Number 2 is, where did the rabbits live? यानी कि rabbits जो है वो कहाँ रहते थे? Where did the rabbits live? Answer is in a sand bank, यानी कि जो रेत की एक छोटी सी हिल बनी हुई थी, अंडरनीथ द रूट ऑफ अ वेरी बिग फिर ट्री, बहुत बड़े फिर ट्री के नीचे रहते थे वो. ठीक है, इन अ सैंड बैंक, एक पहाड़ी के ऊपर, अंडरनीथ द रूट ऑफ अ वेरी बिग फिर ट्री. नंबर 3 इज़ द, व्हाट डिड मिसेस रैबिट टेल द चिल्ड्रन टू डू? मिसेस रैबिट ने क्या कहा था बच्चों को करने के लिए? तो मिसेस रैबिट टोल्ड द चिल्ड्रन नॉट टू गो इनटू मिस्टर मैकग्रेगर गार्डन, यानी कि मिसेस रैबिट ने बच्चों को कहा था कि गार्डन में नहीं जाना. किसके गार्डन में? मिस्टर मैकग्रेगर के गार्डन में नहीं जाना. ओके, वेयर डिड पीटर गो? और पीटर कहाँ गया था? पीटर वेंट स्ट्रेट अवे इनटू मिस्टर मैकग्रेगर्स गार्डन. पीटर जो था वो स्ट्रेट अवे मिस्टर मैकग्रेगर के गार्डन में गया. Number 1 answer is Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail and Peter. Now you can see the initial letter of the given names are in upper case, यानी कि उनका जो पहला लेटर है वो सारा कैपिटल है. ठीक है, what the names of Mrs. Rabbit's children. Number 2, where did the rabbits live? In a sand bank underneath the root of a very big fig tree. As we have already read it in the Peter Rabbit reading. Okay, number 3 is, what did Mrs. Rabbit tell the children to do? Mrs. Rabbit ने क्या कहा था बच्चों को करने के लिए? Mrs. Rabbit told the children not to go into Mr. McGregor garden, कि मिस्टर मैकग्रिगर के गार्डन में नहीं जाना, ठीक है. नंबर 4 इज, वेयर डिड पीटर गो? पीटर कहाँ गया? पीटर वेंट स्ट्रेट अवे इनटू मिस्टर मैकग्रेगर गार्डन. पीटर डिडंट लिसन his mother and he went straight away to the Mr. McGregor gardens. Okay, that's all for today's lecture. Homework is that you have to learn the question answers and then you have to write it down on your booklets, and make sure that you are writing like neat and clean and the spellings are correct. And first of all, put date as well. Okay, so I give you the only 4 question answers so that you can learn them easily, because and there are 2 of answer are quite long, so it would be easy for you to learn the answers, because I'm giving you half of the answer questions today. Okay, have a nice weekend. It's Friday, so have a nice weekend. Remember me in your prayers. Take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.